10, 9.
You want answers? I want the truth!
Get ready for two guys who can't handle the truth.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
But we can. Dave Palumbo, Chris Aceto. RxMuscle.com presents Heavy Muscle Radio. Watch out!
Welcome to another episode of Heavy Muscle Radio. I'm Dave Palumbo, and I'm joined as always by the technician Chris Aceto on this August 24th, 2020 evening. And Chris, we got a lot of bodybuilding shows coming up. I can't believe I'm actually saying that. You know, it seems like each show has got its own little personality. One show they got to wear masks. The next show they don't have to wear masks. One show they got to, be 100 feet apart. Another show they're all together. There's no rhyme, no reason here.
What's the scuttlebutt for the big New York Pro in Tampa?
I know. I'm saying that they had a bunch of shows. I helped a bunch of people. You probably did too. This past weekend on the amateur level, they had a lot of shows.
I didn't even know.
I know Mel had a show. I didn't go. I mean, but because I'm quarantined, but self-quarantined that is. But Mel had a show.
Yeah.
Well, I just don't want to go. I don't want to go around anywhere at this point. I waited so long. Why would I risk it now?
Yeah.
I don't have to. You know what I mean? If there was a need to do it, I probably would go. But there's no reason to put myself and my family at risk at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, would you go to a show? I mean, at this point?
I'm starting to venture out a little bit more.
Yeah,
I'll go to a show. I mean,
are you going to go to New York Pro?
I may go.
You may go. Wow. And you'll get on an airplane or you're going to drive?
I may take Aaron's airplane.
Aaron's airplane.
No, I may drive. It's 20 hours to
you're not going to take the Mercedes, the classic Mercedes.
No, I'll take the Q. What do I have? An XQ, QX80? I don't even know what I got.
The Infinity? You got the Infinity, right?
Infinity. I get the Infinity so I can be up high and have the coffee holders and I need the jugs so I don't have to.
How will you stay awake though? How will you stay awake?
Oh, I'll just take like caffeine up the yin yang. But then I'll have to go to the bathroom, so I'll have to take like jugs so I don't have to go to the rest stops.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to go to the rest stops anyways,
The 20 hours down there won't be so bad. It's the 20 hours back. But for you, it might be like a vacation, though.
Of course, Dave. Away from the kids. Come on.
You'll be on the phone.
I've been in the house.
You'll be on the phone the whole time.
I'll be texting the whole time like this.
You better learn to voice text if you're going to be doing that.
I once texted with my BlackBerry from Portland, Maine to the Hartford Pro show they had down there. And Dave, I texted the whole way. It felt like I was in the car for like 9 minutes.
Yeah, but you know what the funny thing is? The BlackBerry was easy to text on because you didn't have to really even see the screen because you could feel the keys.
Yeah,
you can't feel the keys on any of these new phones.
That's why when people used to make fun of me, including you, you'd say you got to get a iPhone. I said my fingers are too big. I can text so fast.
That's my father's. That's my. You just sounded like my father. My father's excuse why he would never get would never stop typing on a real typewriter was, he goes, my touch, it's too powerful. He said, I have a powerful touch. These other keyboards are too fast. I can't type on them. Like that, you're just gonna get used to it. I said.
Yeah. Now people, when I text them, they don't know what I'm saying because it's just all jumbled and.
Yeah.
But
you're probably the worst texter of all time.
Yeah, most likely.
I would think that you don't speak English as a first language when I get your text.
I know. Well, people say they need a thesaurus to dissect what I write to them.
No, because you don't use how like George Farrar speaks. That's how you write. You don't have any. You don't use any prepositions to connect anything.
Yeah, brother, I go now to Connecticut. I see you soon.
I see you soon. Today, well, there was a big post. Bill Pearl put up a big post. I don't know if you saw this.
Bill Pearl.
Bill Pearl has a Facebook. The Bill Pearl.
Excuse me. Is Bill? So obviously, Bill. I mean, sounds insane. He's alive.
I would think so.
I get him confused. Then how old is he?
Reg Park? Maybe you confuse him with.
No, I get him confused with the first Mr. Olympia.
Oh, Larry Scott. Well, Bill Pearl posted this thing on his Facebook about Chris Dickerson. As you remember, Chris suffered a heart attack. Do you remember he fell?
Yeah, they were Bill Pearl and Chris Dickerson were extremely tight.
Right. Well, Chris Dickerson fell in March, fractured his hip. After the surgery to fix the hip, he had a massive heart attack. They put him on a ventilator, and then he, I guess he went to some kind of he had to get a pacemaker put in too, because I guess something was, I don't know if he had some damage to his heart from the cardiac arrest, but he then we went to a care facility, kind of like what happened to Bob Grushkin, and he got COVID. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
So, that's how Bob Grushkin died, really, essentially.
Yes, I know that.
And
we talked about when I was a kid, Bob Grushkin used to tell me, a pandemic is coming. It's going to get everyone a pandemic. He used to be scared out of his mind.
He was scared because he probably knew. He had a premonition. So so Chris is evidently recovered. So he's his birthday is August 25th. So he's going to be 81 years old. So we can wish him a happy birthday, Chris Dickerson.
Did I ever tell you, Dave, a little side story about Bob Grushkin almost eating pork? What happened?
No. Was he kosher?
Yeah, he was kosher, and he was flying back to Indiana. He went to undergrad at Indiana from New York, and he was in like a small plane, so it wasn't like Aaron's plane, and they had hot dogs, and he was starving, and he thought, I'm gonna have a hot dog, and he said, maybe I shouldn't. Well,
what do you think? It was like a kielbasa?
No, he knew it was pork, and he said, well, maybe be okay. And the lady gave him a hot dog, and they hit turbulence, and the hot dog flew right out of his hand.
Like
the turbulence, hit the we let the air come in, the air conditioned little vent, and flew out of his hands. And he said, well, maybe I shouldn't eat that hot dog. But anyways, I thought COVID, yes, and so Bob was also fearful of pandemics. So Chris Dickerson,
who is our 1982 Mr. Olympia.
82, yeah.
For those people who don't remember that, he beat. He looks like he's out of the woods there, I think.
Yeah.
So
that was one of the few Olympias, I believe, Dave, where they had that weird 2019, 18, 17 score. So
I don't even remember what
Ben, you can ask who's the historian.
John Hansen.
Ben wanted to make it more like the Olympics. So if you want to, let's say, Phil Heath in first place, instead of giving him a 1, you would give him a 20. Oh. And if you had like Sean Roden in second place, instead of giving him a 2, you give him like a 19. But it got so confusing. Especially
probably because most of the judges can't do math,
Well, they had to add all these 20s and 19s and up.
Sure.
And,
a lot of advanced mathematics there.
They threw it out after that, I think.
I'm sure. Don't fix it if it's not broke. That's the bottom line, I always say. Yeah. But anyway, if you want to contact Chris Dickerson and send him well wishes for his birthday, you got to do it like you would do it for your grandfather. You got to send him. You got to send him a card. You got to write it by hand. I don't know if anyone knows how to write anymore these days, but you can send it to Chris Dickerson, Manor Pines, and it's 1701 Northeast 26th Street, room 367, Wilton Manor, Florida, 33305, and that's on the Bill Pearl Facebook page. You can check that out. So, guys, if you want to send some well wishes out to him, that would be cool. I'm sure he would greatly appreciate that. He was a great Mr. Olympia, great ambassador to our sport, and obviously I'm glad that he's still alive. It just shows you how resilient bodybuilders are, right?
I'm Dave. I'm just speechless that Bill Pearl's alive. Bill Pearl. I apologize, Bill. He was old when I met him in '87.
You know whose birthday it is on Tuesday, August 25th?
Who?
Vince Taylor. He's going to be 64 years old.
Very young looking 64.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. Can you believe it? 64 years old. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Well,
time we're all getting old. I guess that's really the bottom line, right?
Well, yeah. It's true.
I'd love to see Vince make a comeback. I bet he'd still look great.
I'm sure he's got great shoulders and arms right now, and calves.
He would look great, Vince. I guarantee it if he made a comeback now. Let me see. Let me pull up some little Vince Taylor here. I'm going to tell. I got another person who also is who's. Right, there's Vince. Now, the person who told me this, who do you think told me that Vince Taylor's 64th birthday? It wasn't me. I can't take credit for it.
John Hansen.
No, our good friend Ralph.
Ralph the photographer?
No.
Ralph Don.
Ralph Torelli. Your buddy who used to work at Pembroke Pines Golds.
Oh, yeah.
He's 54, same birthday.
Crazy.
So he's 54. Vince is 64. So all these people born on the same day. Pretty cool. Right?
What's their zodiac sign this month?
I don't even know. I don't usually follow that, but it's also just to.
Jay just had his birthday in August.
What date was his birthday?
I think it's like sometime August 8th to 17th, somewhere in there. I think I'm the only person who doesn't wish him happy birthday.
No, you don't have to because you're that tight with him. I don't wish I'm terrible with birthday unless it pops up on my timeline.
Yeah.
I don't even remember your birthday. You remember mine, but I don't remember yours.
I wonder how I remember yours.
I don't know.
Probably somebody tells me. They probably say, "Hey, Dave." Yeah. Like, okay, hey, Dave, happy birthday. Just remember.
Right.
I still have to double check on my kids' birthdays. Like when I go somewhere, they say, "Okay, date of birth." So I'm like, "Oh gosh, here we go." Jay was like 274 in the 2004 Olympia. I correlated with like Jay's shows.
Yeah. It's also, you know who else was born this day? Rich Piana. Rich Piana died on the 25th of August. So we have to give him a.
What's it been? 2 years now or so? Or
I think it's been. I think it's 3 years, isn't it?
I don't even know. What was the cause, Dave? Did you ever?
No, there's no cause of death.
Well, there's a cause. We just don't know it.
Yeah, there's Rich and Dorian. It was Rich when he competed. I miss Rich. I really liked him a lot. I didn't hang out with him or anything like that, but we talked on occasion. And I interviewed him. I liked him. I thought I liked his creativity. Maybe some of the stuff he did was a little self-destructive, but I like the fact that he was able to innovate all this stuff himself. All the stuff that was all the slogans and T-shirts and all the stuff he did with YouTube. Everyone copies what he does now.
Yeah.
He was really a pioneer in this sense.
Yeah, he was doing YouTube stuff when nobody was doing it.
And people don't realize he edited his own video. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, he would shoot all this video during the day. They'd have all this video, and then he'd go back to his room at night at these expos or go back to his house, and he would edit like for hours. And I know how to. I'm an editor too, so it doesn't take 3 seconds. Like Blackman used to be when I used to work for Blackman. He would be like, we would be at a show, right, Chris, for like what hours and hours, like 8, 10 hours, 12 hours for the day. He'd be like, we'd literally walk out the door. He'd be like, when's the video going up? I'm like, Steve,
9 minutes.
First of all, it takes like at that time it probably took an hour to download the video alone to the computer. Then you had to render it. You had to, it was like it was a long process, and that was sometimes I was doing it. Sometimes Bill Comstock was doing it. I'm like, Steve, you think we can maybe get something to eat first before I just spend 12 hours at a bodybuilding show? Just put it up. Just put it up. I'm like, Steve, it doesn't go. Yeah. It's like a gazillion megabyte, a gigabyte.
Yeah, it's not a button. You don't push a button and it's up there.
Yeah. Just put it up. Don't even edit it. Just put it up. Like that. But whatever. Oh my God, these people are so clueless. You saw the article I sent you, right? That they fired Pecker.
Big news.
Yeah.
Big news. Been there a long time. Yep. No more catch and kills. No more. It's funny that he had. When you sent that, Dave, I was wanting to like throw him under the bus because I'm bitter that he kicked Roden out of the Olympia within 35 seconds of finding out that Roden supposedly raped this bank robber, and so I was trying to be critical, but you know what? he did a pretty good job with the Olympia. I mean, when all had said,
they got money. They raised the money. Then
at the end of the day, he raised the money, and if nothing else, that was something great for the bodybuilders, or the other classes too. Sure. I mean, I don't think he was, but the disconnect was like, the speeches of him and rah 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 for bodybuilding. They felt so like created, like he was reading a script, because how could he have like this passion for bodybuilding when you've never been around it or in it, or it's not.
I think he liked it though.
Yeah, I mean he may liked it.
Look, he inherited a mess over there, and it got messier and messier. The whole AMI thing, and it was. And then magazines didn't matter anymore. And I mean, it's like you're steering the Titanic, as Romano would say, down to the bottom of the ocean. If you're a magazine, if you're running a magazine, franchise, so to speak, it's not a good business to be in today's market. No one reads,
The only equivalent is when he bought the magazines at the absolute highest price ever.
Right.
Because that's the only reason Joe sold them. It's like I told you about the real estate guy before we came on the air. The only reason this guy I know just sold this, building that's just so spectacular. I'm like, why? He said, when someone gives you a gigantic check,
yeah, you can't say
you
no.
say you can't say no.
Yeah.
So that's where that's saying, I got an offer that it was too big to refuse.
I refused, yeah.
So
it's the same thing. I have snake. I have snakes, Chris, that
that you like.
That I don't want to sell, but people have made me offers I couldn't refuse. And I said, what if the snake dies tomorrow? What am I crap? I'm not going to take $10,000 for a snake or something like that.
No, so the point is, him buying the magazines is like someone going out and buying a 60-unit apartment building, and then within 3 years, code says, you know what, you just can't rent these anymore.
Right. Just pack them up. Yeah.
So you know what? Nobody's going to read anymore.
The difference is though that the land that the building is built on is probably worth money. Their real estate there is worth nothing. So thank we're lucky. We're really lucky that. So what would have happened if they would have gone out of business? What would have happened to the Olympia? Would have gone to auction?
Dave. Maybe he knew the writing was on the wall and thought, let me get.
That was probably the best sale they did, to get rid of that Olympia when they did.
Yeah.
Right before COVID too.
Can you imagine now if Jake Wood did not buy it, and here we are in April, and here we are in September, and the show is.
They would have canceled it. AMI would have canceled the Olympia.
Oh, with COVID going on, everything, they say, Becker's gone. He was doing it. It's not our thing. We'll come back maybe next year and do it.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. So it was it was good for them to sell it at that time. Thank God it was good for bodybuilding that Jake bought it when he did. However, I bet you if Jake would have waited a year, probably would have gotten it a lot cheaper.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
But here's what it is.
No timing.
I'm glad that the Olympia's happy. I don't know if I should even show the picture. I'm getting on the show your boy there, Kamal Elgargni.
Oh, smiley Kamal. He's going to smile the whole time.
Yeah, he's staying with a friend of his in the UK, I guess for a couple of weeks, and then he's going to Turkey and staying there for 2 weeks. So, because from Turkey to the United States, you can fly, no problem. You can't fly from the UK to the United States. So he's doing that, and I think he's going to hang out in the US probably for a few weeks before the Olympia, or for a few months, I should say. Right?
Yeah.
Are you aware of that?
Yeah, I just found out the other day, but I only found out in the context of.
Is he staying in your apartment building?
No. So somebody said, Kamal, you might want to think about coming now, because what if? Just the what if.
Well, we said that. We've been speculating that for weeks. Why didn't these guys just come over here?
Well, what if England goes nuts with COVID?
Yeah.
Right.
They won't let anyone out. So anyway, I'm getting him on the show. I'm interviewing him this week, and the picture I saw of him, I'm sure you saw the same picture. It's like a hands on hips.
Oh, he looks like Phil Heath.
He looks enormous. I couldn't believe how big he was. What the heck happened to him? He's enormous.
He just got. You know what?
Should I show the picture?
Yeah,
get the picture up. I don't know. I gotta get the picture up. Let me see if I can get the picture up.
You're gonna put up. I'm going to say I told you. He looks like Phil.
How did he get so big? What's he been doing? I mean, the guy's what, 49 years old?
Brother, I can't tell famous protocol.
Seriously, though, I can't believe how big he is.
He just, I think what happens, Dave, honestly, is, well, I'll give you this. And my opinion is with Kamal, he won the Olympia, and he always had ultimate confidence, no arrogance, but confidence, in his abilities to be competitive to win it. Even when he was third, when Flex won it. I saw pictures the other day, Dave, with him and Flex, and it was pretty darn close that year.
Yeah.
They just had them like 90, like they had them more than, they would social distance them on stage. He never got next to, they spread him out, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Because he does not have weaknesses, so that per se. So he looks bigger on stage than he really is. Anyhow, I think winning the Olympia, I think that it lit like something reignited in. Yeah, it lit something in him where he wants to come back to show people that he is 212. Mr. Olympia, and he likes, you should ask him, he likes the idea of succeeding somebody who won so many times. You know what I mean? There's something important to him.
I think a lot of people thought he was going to be a one-hit wonder too, right?
I think a lot of people thought he was going to be a one-hit wonder, and I think they're going to be surprised when they, if you can ever find that picture and post it up, I think they'll be surprised.
I'm working on it. Keep talking.
At his thickness. So, I mean, he's a Dexter. He's 50 or 49, one of the two.
He's got to be close to 50, right?
Yeah, we went to Qatar. We were with him. We went to Qatar for 2 or 3 weeks, my family and his family. And Dave, when somebody trains, I've never seen anyone ever blow up in a training session like he did. Like if he does shoulders, they get 3 times bigger. And if he does pecs, his pecs get like this.
Right.
I mean, they come back down, but when people go like, "Oh, I got a really good pump."
He's a genetic freak, yeah.
He would pump up, like he'd do like, back, and you say, "Yeah, your back looks good." So, "Oh, I'm gonna do some back," and it'd be in a tank top and he'd be pumping, training. He'd just explode.
That's just genetics. I mean,
genetics.
First of all, anyone who can be that good at that, late of an age, that's genetics too, because, most people fall apart, the longer they did it.
Ask him, same thing. It's like Dexter. Any injuries? No. Ever? Never. Ever? Well, I think my elbow hurt me for like, he'll do it, my elbow hurt like in
that's genetics.
1997, it was.
There he is. There's the picture. It's pretty impressive. Yeah. For a 212 guy, he looks massive. He looks like Dorian there.
Yeah, he looks crazy.
How are the legs?
Very good.
Yeah, he always had good legs.
He has no issue with legs. His legs are round for his body, and they're deeply separated.
Yeah.
And he gets paper thin skin.
I'm really impressed with that picture. I'm glad that he's smart enough to get to the United States early.
Yeah, that would have been
Where's he going to stay?
I don't know. I don't know what his plans are. 100%.
I'm surprised he hasn't contacted you in that sense. He should hide up there in Maine. That would be a perfect place to hide.
Then I'd have 4 kids, be in the house, 4 kids and Kamal.
And he'd probably bring his whole family with him too.
Yeah, at some point they'll probably, I bet, they'll go to Turkey and come.
Oh my God, it never ends, right?
Never, nor will it ever, to quote Jay. It never ends, nor will it ever end.
No. All right, what else do I have to report? I got a lot of news.
Okay, what's your next topic?
I don't know. I'm looking. Dan Solomon report. I know what I wanted to talk about. So Dan Solomon.
Big Dan.
Yeah. Dan was posted something on the Olympia LLC that I guess they got Shaquille O'Neal is going to be the ambassador this year, like Jay was last year.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's because I think they got him through Rock Shabazz. Rock Shabazz was a good pro bodybuilder in his own right. He trains Shaq, I think, in Atlanta there. So they somehow got Shaq likes bodybuilding. He was at the Olympia last year, and they're going to make him the master. So I guess Dan is doing some kind of like Olympia talk with Shaquille O'Neal on I think Monday night.
Well, they should get Baby Goldbomb to Shaq endorses everything. Just Google the stuff that Shaq endorses.
Do you know how
you got a headache? You got a headache. This one works.
Yeah. Do you know how he's like the George Foreman of the modern era, right?
Yeah, he endorses.
I'm surprised he doesn't have a grill. I'm surprised that he should take over the George Foreman grill. They should have the Shaq grill.
He just Google, Dave. Put all the products that he endorses.
He's very wealthy. He owns a lot of businesses. He's a very good business guy. He's probably more. People think of him as a great basketball player. He's probably more successful as a businessman.
Oh, I'm sure.
I was watching some program on him. They were saying all the businesses he owned.
Yeah, and
he's all over the place. It's funny because we used to watch. You ever watch that show Tanked, where they build fish tanks?
Yes, yeah, I've seen it.
They built him a tank. You see that tank they built him?
I didn't.
It was a crazy fish tank. Yeah, they built him a great fish tank.
His house must be insane.
I didn't know he was all into aquarium fish, like I was.
Oh, there's your connection with you, Dave.
Yeah. I'm setting up another fish tank. I told you that, right?
Yes, you did.
My garage, yeah. So I have this channel called Muscle Fish on YouTube. And I haven't posted a video in 4 years on it. I posted my first video the other day because I'm starting to like put together the ingredients for this new fish tank. So I kind of teased people. I'm back, because I used to have all these monster fish tanks in New York. And so I'm building this new tank, and so I put up another video. I actually have like 18,000 subscribers on that channel. I don't even do anything with it, but people like to. It's a timeless thing because you can watch fish tank videos. It doesn't have to be from yesterday. It doesn't matter that I put these things up 4 years ago. People want to see the fish. So now, and I told Chris off camera, we bought the property across the street from us. My mother-in-law is going to be living there. And it came up for sale, but they have this crazy koi pond in there, which I'll show everyone when I'll do a tour of the property when we finally take it over next month. And so now these koi are like giant, Chris. So I got my monster fish back. I didn't have to even get a fish tank. So, and on the property there, they have an outdoor it's like a pond. It's like a runoff pond. You ever see these things? They dig these things so that you don't flood. There's a baby alligator living in it, Chris. The thing is
you can't wait to get that property, Dave, for the alligator.
No, but it's it's this big. It's it's a small alligator, but they're gonna grow, and it's staked out this like little pond. So now we're concerned because we get obviously the kids and stuff like that. I don't want to get eaten by this alligator when it gets bigger. So now we have to get rid of the alligator, but you can't call Florida Fish and Wildlife. They won't come unless the thing's over for like 4 feet. Yeah,
they get calls all day long.
So they get calls all day long. So they're going to basically tell you, go, we don't care. So now my idea was to get in a little rowboat, Chris, and go with a big net and go out there and try to net the thing myself. Now, obviously, we would have to videotape this, right?
I was going to say, you put that.
And then it's like, I'll videotape it. Don't worry about it. Now, here's another angle to the equation. You know who Denise Messino is, right? Mm-hmm. All right. Denise just moved back. Denise used to live in Fort Myers, but she was out in California. Her husband was working for E! Entertainment there. He's a video editor, shoots video and edits video. So they moved back just recently to Fort Myers. So, and Amanda and her were close, and obviously I know Denise really well. So I got to get Denise's husband, Greg, to come in and film the epic adventure of Dave removing the baby alligator from the backyard of the property across the street.
Probably be your biggest video, Dave.
It might be my biggest video of all time.
Especially if you get hurt.
Especially if I get hurt, or if I fall into the water.
Yeah.
If I fall into the water. Yeah. Amanda's like, what if you fall into the water? I'm like, the alligator's a foot long. What is it going to do to me?
Well, take a toe off.
No, it's not going to. It'll probably run. That's the worst part. Will be that I'll be soaking wet, and with nothing's going off. My wife's saying, your defibrillator is going to go off. I'm like, it's going to go off. First of all, I'm not really afraid of alligators and stuff like that are that small. Like if there was a big one in there, I would be scared out of my mind, of course, But
Well, we went. You sent us. No, you didn't send us.
It reminds me of the scene from Jaws. Remember when you remember Jaws? the movie?
I told you I saw a shark today.
Yeah, I know you did. I'm going to ask you that story in a minute. So Quint is the guy, they hire the old guy to hunt the shark, right? And Richard Dreyfuss plays this like marine biologist in Jaws, and he's like, he brings this shark cage with him on the boat. They're gonna go hunt this fish, right? They're gonna go hunt the shark, and Brody's and Quint is like, who's played by Robert Shaw, who actually won the Academy Award for this as a part in the movie. He's like, "What are you gonna do with that cage, mate?" He's like, "I'm gonna put it in the water. I'm gonna go in the water with the fish." He goes, "You're gonna go in the water with the fish?" He's like, "Sharks in the water."
Yeah.
You're in the water. Shark eats you, and he starts singing, like you're going to be history there. But that's what reminds me of, but the alligator's not that big, but it's still the whole idea of having to get an alligator out of your own pond. It's kind of funny in a sense.
Oh.
And I got to get him out of there because what I want to do, I want to put fish in the pond. I want to stock the pond with some fish.
Obviously, if that baby little alligator's there, mommy alligator or daddy alligator is probably, you gotta be careful, hiding or somewhere nearby.
Nah, probably not, because behind my house, I have that big Gators Slough is called. That's where the alligators are in there. So what happens is, I think when they get a little old enough, they'll come out of the water and they'll go look for their own little ponds to hang out in, so they can have their own. It's almost like they're trying to leave home and have their own apartment. Oh,
Dave.
Hold on. Trying to look up that scene I was telling you about. It's a good scene. Tell me about your shark adventure. Because you saw a shark today, huh?
My wife went canoeing or sea kayaking last year and got in an argument with my oldest son. She declared that there were great white sharks in Maine, and supposedly there's not, and they had a big fight about it. And she saw plenty of seals. So she said, where the food is, there's sharks. So a lady this summer, not far from us, was vacationing from New York City swimming, and she got eaten in full by a great white shark.
Wow.
So lately, there's been these shark sightings. So today I said, let's do something, get out of the house. Took everyone out, and we went to this place called the Lobster Shack, and it's outdoor picnic tables right on the rocks, and I'm sitting there eating my food, and sure enough, right by us,
crazy
shark. I went nuts. I was so excited because I've never seen a shark in the wild, because we always joke about it, right?
Yep.
But you see that, the water break, and then the fin, right, come out, scares. Even if you're on land, you're scared. We're excited. I was more excited than scared. Dave, there was a boat near. That's how I saw it. I saw a nice little sailboat, and I wanted to start to talk about sailing.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get the S out of my voice, out of my mouth before I saw the shark.
Yeah.
It was exciting. And that was it. We lost track. I mean, he didn't come back up, or she didn't come back up.
No, let me see if I can play this. I wonder. They'll probably tag. I won't probably lose a monetization by show.
Oh, hey, be careful.
Yeah, it's a great scene.
They may pull your YouTube license or whatever. Like Nick Trigilli. Is Nick? Did Nick? Has he called you and tried to get it back or something? Try to find out.
I don't know what he's doing.
That movie was shot in Cape. Jaws was shot. Was it shot in Cape Cod?
I think it was. That's where it's supposed to have taken place.
That's the great whites love Cape Cod.
Yeah. I'm sure.
They go from. I think they travel from. They say like South Africa to Cape Cod every summer. And now apparently up to Maine a little bit.
I think they go all over. It's amazing that they travel all over the globe. These sharks. The ones in Australia seem to be much more aggressive, though.
Yeah.
Because they get the seals there. They go to that seal island and they eat the seals. I mean, I'm sure did you watch Shark Week?
I've seen it. Yeah.
I love Shark Week. It's great. I was obsessed with sharks when I was a kid.
I knew
My
it.
parents actually took me to see Jaws when I was a kid, and I probably was only like 7 or 8 years old.
Did you memorize every line?
I was no, because you couldn't, because you only saw it once. It wasn't like you could watch it on tape or
What was
anything.
the scariest scene for you at 8?
Oh, I don't know, when the shark hit the bottom of the boat. I think you remember they were like drinking and eating and telling stories, and all of a sudden the shark went and hit the bottom of the boat. My father said they looked around. I disappeared. I was under the seat. I was so scared.
I played that on a piano. I played that little.
I play shark with my kids in the pool. I'm like, the shark is coming. The shark. They run. They scream. Ah! So he's like, play the shark. He's like, do the shark.
Yeah.
I said, you're scared. You jump out of the pool. Do the shark. Do the shark.
I've been playing it for an hour. You tell them.
There's no level of exhaustion that you can put my kids through. I exhaust way before they do.
Well, Dave, listen. The crazy thing is, my kids, when they were young, used to love the pool. Okay, back in the pool, the pool. Now it's like.
Do you have a pool?
We had a pool.
Oh, I didn't know you had a pool.
And then we used to go down to Miami a lot when they were little.
Right.
And the whole day they'd be in the pool. The whole day. Now you go down to Miami, you want to go in the pool? No. Want to go sit near the pool? No.
They don't want to do anything. The kids, they're spoiled now.
No fun in the pool.
No. So there was a pro show. Did you see that? Let me pull that up. Pull up the scorecard here. Since we have such high technology. Nothing that you'd be interested. Pro bikini?
Oh.
Ashley Kaltwasser. I think she's the winningest bikini pro now of all time. She's won 3 Olympias, but she has 20. I think she has 20 pro wins.
Dave, I hope you think I hope you believe me. When you said a bikini show, I said, "Who won, Ashley?" I was gonna be sarcastic.
But it's amazing that she's been around for so long. She won her Olympias when she was really young. That's why, and now she's still going. She's trying to regain that Olympia crown. I don't know if she ever will, but she's cleaning up. She wins all these shows. So that took place at the Clash. Oh, this is Mel's show. The Clash Pro Championships and the NPC Mel Chansey Harbor Classic. Didn't know it. Cool. I didn't know they had a pro bikini. So that was the show of the weekend. I know, because Dan Solomon had texted me and said, "Are you going to the show this weekend?" And I said, Mel's? He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm going to be down there." I said, "Nah, I'm not going." So I saw that Jimmy Mentis had posted a picture with him and Dan and hanging out there in the audience. It looked like everyone was pretty close together. I didn't see any social distancing or masks going on, but that's why I didn't go, because I would have got sucked into that,
Yeah.
I would have, I would have started out with a mask on, and then at the end of the night, it would have been nothing. People would have been.
You know what you see now around? I noticed today. I noticed that on the rocks on the beach, masks.
The rocks are wearing masks now too?
No, the rocks at the beach. People would throw them, when they're done with their mask or whatever. They're all over the place.
Oh, they are? The littering is what you're saying with the masks. I see.
I saw like 8, 10 masks on the rocks. I'm like, what are those? Just like people, I don't know. Okay, done with this one. Throw it.
Yeah. Oh, we had another show. Hold on. In Texas. Let's pull this one up. Okay, it's the Southeast Texas Pro. And I see Tyler Mannion was the head judge. They had men's physique. Daniel Amons won. Daniel Amons won. He'll be going to the Olympia.
Men's physique, yeah.
That's it. There's a lot of guys, though. 26 guys in the show. You know what? If you're going to compete this year, you better not. If there's a show available, you better jump in it. I wouldn't wait. God knows, they cancel shows left and right. Europe is the worst. They're canceling everything in Europe, because I have a lot of European clients that I work with, and I feel so bad for those guys.
Well, speaking of Europe, the show in Spain, they just opened it up. Olympia qualifier in the open bodybuilding for top 3.
Top 3, yeah. The Alicante, right?
Which, you know what? If I was doing the New York Pro or the Chicago or Cal, I'd be saying, why?
Yeah, might as well make those top 3 also, right?
Why not me? Or why not here?
Well, why wouldn't they do that? Right. I have to believe the New York Pro is going to have better quality competitors than the Alicante Pro.
That's what I mean.
Right?
Yeah, and I don't know though, Dave. Actually, right now, to the best of my understanding, you can't fly to Europe if you're an American flying out.
No, that's why these guys and you can't fly into the U.S. from Europe either. That's why these guys are going to other countries like Turkey.
I guess if you're a pro, you'd have to go from the U.S. to, let's say, I don't know where, Turkey, before you fly into Spain.
Yeah, that's where what's his name's going. Kamal. It's going to Turkey.
Crazy.
No joke. Dubai. A lot of guys are going to Dubai too. If I'm going to go to this country, I'm probably going to go to Dubai, wouldn't you? I mean, that sounds like a little bit better than Turkey, but I don't know. Maybe Kamal has connections in Turkey.
Well, I know people went to Turkey. They thought it was beautiful. Coast is gorgeous there.
I don't know. I don't know.
You probably saw that movie. What was that movie back at, when the guy sold drugs in Turkey? Remember that movie? It was when you were young?
Oh yeah. What was the name of that?
That was a scary movie.
Yeah, that's like my father loved that movie.
Had
what was
great
it called?
Critical acclaim.
What was it called?
It was about an American kid. He went to Turkey, sold drugs. They threw him in like life in prison. I think he escaped. I sound like your father now. They don't make movies like that, Dave, anymore.
Yeah. Midnight Express.
The really big critical acclaim, right? For years, people referred to that movie.
Yeah, that was. I should rewatch that movie.
I'm just gonna write it down. I'm gonna write it down to watch it.
Yeah, because it's like it was so long ago. I forgot that movie even existed. I know my father really loved it. Oliver Stone wrote that movie. Did you know that?
That's right. He did write it.
Yeah.
Oliver Stone was on Bill Maher this week.
Was he? Is he anti-Trump or he must be?
No, he's not. I guess Bill Maher may have. I didn't see the show, but he brought up the idea that Russians interfered with our elections, and he said, "You can't trust these people. Come on." He said, CIA has been lying to us since Kennedy was shot.
Oh, and Oliver Stone did that JFK movie too.
Yeah,
so he would know. He investigated all that stuff quite a bit. Did you like that movie?
The JFK movie?
Yeah.
I didn't. I never saw it. I was going to write that down with Midnight Express. Did you see it?
I liked it. Yeah, I did like it. I don't know if it probably wasn't. It probably wasn't right. The theory that they put forth. Because I think the mafia killed. I think that's pretty much established at this point. The mafia had killed. But it was interesting, all the connections and stuff like that.